tough world, but be good. Be a good man. Be a good person. I remember being one time all the way deep in the empty quarters, very, very close to the Omani border, very, very, you know, probably about 100 kilometers south of Al-Ain. You have very, very, you know, when you go to the Harim, you got the road down to Harim, and then you go all the way to the east, and you end up all the way in the direction of Al-Ain. And it's very, very remote. There's no roads there. And I remember one day, we must have been with probably about 60 cars. And we ended up all the way at the bottom of a huge slip face. And we were celebrating, having drinks there, and having a big campfire. And then a few of our friends were missing. We didn't know where they were. We had no radio contact with them, nothing. And then almost in the middle of the night, we were already long there. Suddenly these lights came all the way over the top, on the top of the slip face. And we could see these 4 cars coming down the slip face all the way down. And these guys had been driving for 6 hours in complete darkness. Only the lights on, and they were able to actually find us after 6 hours in driving in pure darkness. It was euphoric. It was fantastic. That was really good fun. I think I had the best nights are when you're having a campfire and you're there with 10, 12, 14 guys, good friends, and you just talk. You just talk. And you talk about everything. You know, anything goes. Everybody is, you're in the middle of nowhere. You're completely relying on each other. That's where friendships are made. You know, and you do it once a month, once every 3, 4, 5, 6 times a year. But just to step out of Dubai, go in the desert with a couple of friends, with a couple of nice drinks, some nice food, big fillet steak, scampi's, big barbecue, and just have a really nice meal, something really nice to barbecue, a few drinks and good stories at the campfire. It's magic. You cannot get it anywhere. It's so honest, and you know, I've got the best memories from the Dubai desert here and in the Abu Dhabi desert. Just, yeah, special. Nobody understands it. You have to do it to know it. It's very, yeah, it is very special. I had just bought my Lotus Super 7, and I was really proud of it. And my daughter, she's got an Emirati friend. She's a lady, yeah, a girl, very pretty. And she was visiting our house really briefly, and she said, "Can I come for a drive in your car with you?" And we got in the car and we drove only maybe 300 meters, 400 meters, and there was a traffic light. And I was standing behind. There was nobody there. Traffic lights were on red. In front of me was an Uber Lexus, and you know, this Uber car, he was obviously in the wrong lane because he decided at the end he wanted to go right. So what he did is he reversed the car. But because I was so low, he didn't see me. And I was hooting, but it had a really tiny little hooter on it only. So I was hooting, but the guy went straight over the nose and completely destroyed. And I only had maybe 500, 600 kilometers on the clock of this car. And it completely destroyed the whole thing. And this was just before Christmas time, here in Dubai. But the Emirati girl went like, "Oh my God! Now police are going to come, and they are not going to understand what am I doing in a car with a white man." So she said, you know. So we rang my daughter. Come pick your friend up. So she came. She went. So there was no witnesses of her being in the car with me. And then police came, and obviously the Uber driver was really apologetic. He said, "I'm sorry, I didn't see you." And I looked in the rear mirror, I didn't see any car, because this thing was so low, it just went straight over the whole thing on the front. But it took them 6 weeks to repair it. I did a huge engine swap, yeah. I had an old Nissan Patrol 4.2 carbureted engine, and I decided to, it was a 99 short wheelbase, and I decided to go and put a Vitic, 4.8 Vitic in it. So I went around some of the garages and I found one, and he said, I can find you an engine. And they found an engine. It was a Nissan Patrol. It came from Japan, that was used on airports. And the cars had been scrapped, had been standing there, but they had only really low mileages. So we decided to buy for 15,000 dirhams one of those Vitic engines. Yeah, straight out of almost a brand new Nissan Patrol. Took it out, but as the thing was being taken out, a couple other people came and started bidding for it because they wanted to have that engine as well for 15,000 or but we were really lucky. We got it on the truck. The guy then realized he probably charged us not enough for it because 15,000 for a Vitic 4.8 is phenomenal. The performance of these electric cars is phenomenal. I mean, I don't know if you've ever been in a Tesla, and the acceleration you get is just unbelievable. It's much better than even than the Cobra that I have, or Ferrari or anything. But to be honest, is it fun? Is it fun to drive? I mean, I like hearing the revs. I like hearing going 5,000, 5,500 RPM up a dune, and then knowing that I'm just about, I've got maximum torque and I'm reaching it, and I'm sort of using the gears. And I know it's all old-fashioned, but it's just that's the part that makes it fun. I mean, electrical. Maybe I'll have one at some stage. But to be honest, I don't know. What am I going to do with my Cobra? What am I the V8? Am I going to be? Are people going to throw bottles and empty milk cans at me because I'm a polluter? Because I'm such a bad person for driving a car like that? I think that's going to happen. I mean, you cannot drive diesels into some towns in Europe anymore. In 10 years' time, it will be petrol cars. You are not allowed to drive petrol cars anymore. So I can tell you, I'm going to get as much out of this car, this Cobra, as I can for the next couple of years. So when the time comes when these things are going to be prohibited, I've milked it, and I'm satisfied that I've got enough memories and enough good stories. But somehow, I've got a feeling that some of these cars will always be allowed to be driven. And I think you have to make some. When I'm going to Europe now, and I'm going to drive my Nissan Patrol long wheelbase Super Safari there, I'm going to be paying an enormous amount of road tax just for driving a car like that. They will say it's a big engine and it's heavy and it's bad for the road. And why don't you drive something smaller? Why don't you drive something electrical? So I'm already penalized for that. But you're absolutely right. They will keep on increasing it until nobody wants one of those things anymore. But how are we going to be able to afford it? Because those electrical cars are very, very expensive. And I think it's okay. It's a right thing. It's a right thing for the environment. But to be honest, when you're a real petrolhead, you're heartbroken. We're a dying breed, but I'm going to hold on to it for as long as I can. My poster car was absolutely the white Lamborghini Countach. There was one white poster of a Lamborghini Countach, yeah, and there was another one of the Ferrari F40, absolutely. F40 came a little bit later. You know, when you're talking about 1986, the F40 wasn't out yet. That only came 1 or 2 years later. But the Ferrari, the 328, the Magnum car, the red one, was just those two. Those were my absolute dream cars. But then when the F40 came, that quickly became the one that I absolutely like most. The F40 is for me totally the dream car. And the Bugatti as well. The old Bugatti from 1932. The blue one. Make sure you enjoy yourself. Make sure you enjoy your time. Build your own dream car. Spend a lot of time with your friends. It's the best thing you can do. Yeah, enjoy life, and cars is a part of it. So that's my message. And be nice to each other. You know, this is a tough world, but be good. Be a good man. Be a good person. Thanks for having me on the program, and looking forward to see many more coming over the next couple of months and years. Yeah, good luck.